Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. Friday, Hot Takes Friday. Got a handful of special guests today. On the docket, I don't know. We'll talk. We've got questions. They don't know the questions ahead of time. We'll prep them here in a sec. But maybe we'll talk about a variety of different things, including, I don't know. Is Bolon a lizard person? Or are we all in the Illuminati? Maybe not. But this hat might differ, and say otherwise. We'll figure it out. The answer to none of those questions here shortly. All right, yeah, bringing back the old intro here. Just a special occasion here. We've got some pretty awesome guests. You've seen them before, but never assembled together as one. We've got Christian, the Trade Room Kupo Dags. Welcome, gentlemen. We'll do some brief reintroductions, and maybe y'all can talk about some exciting things you're all working on. Christian, we'll start with you. How are you doing?
Fantastic, Sarge. Thanks again for having me. Glad to see some new people that I haven't met before, Trade Room. And it's it's a great Friday night here in San Diego. We're just going to have some fun. We don't know what these questions are going to be, Sarge. You're going to surprise us. We're going to have some fun tonight. Hope the DFK fam's here in the chat. Make sure to give us some, crap when we need it. But yeah, I'm excited with the pump too. The pump that's happened this week, guys. I mean, insane to watch some of these tokens go up so quickly. I forgot how quick things can go up, right? We just saw them go down for the last year and a half, and now it's nice to see things go back up again. But yeah, let's get it started.
Love it, Mr. Trade Room. Welcome back. I was expecting some more of I saw some aerated wine on your Twitter feed. I was expecting the road back again, but you took it back a notch. I get it. You got a piano in the room, but how are you doing, man? How's it going?
See, sometimes you start with the piano, then you make your way to the robe, right? Those are special occasions. So with Thanksgiving around the corner, the robe may show up again. But yeah, Sarge, just thanks for having me on. It's a chill Friday night. We have a good community here with us. And yeah, what I do is technical analysis, right? What I do is macro technical analysis. So right on with Christian Peter there. I've just been really excited about the price action. I've been very excited about some of the predictions, some of the technical analysis that were placed, especially from that 15K area back in 2021, 2022 to where we are now, and some of the market sentiment and market psychology that we've all had to go through, right? So my main focus has been when Jewel, right? Because we're seeing things flying now, and people are like, when Jewel, when? Well, it starts from the broader ecosystem. A lot of talk about AVAX, a lot of talk about Clayton, a lot of talk about these development blockchains that ecosystems sit in, and even just understanding that from the basics when mooning your coin. So it's been excited. Now that we've had a pump, let's check where we're at, where the warning signs are, where we're going. as we track how Bitcoin goes, which leads us to where the smaller market cap goes. But awesome night. Thanks for having me here. That's my
Abs-
hot take.
Absolutely, Mr. Kupo. Welcome back. Kupo merch. When is what everyone's saying here. How you doing? How's it going? What are you up to these days?
Oh, doing good, Sarge. Just been busy with a lot of work. Just doing a lot of different things in real life. Trying to commit still to a lot of DFK time. Probably spending way too much time in those boars, but having a lot of fun with that. Coming up with some new strategies, new concepts. Getting pretty good with the warrior. It's a little tricky to use at first, but kind of getting to a point where it's becoming a little bit more solid, depending on the setup I got going on there. I have to agree with both these other guys, Christian and Trade Room. I'm loving to see that the whole Bitcoin is starting to pump up a little bit. I joined during the start of this critical bear, and I've only ever seen it go down. So I've been always trying to remain optimistic ever since I joined the whole crypto community, and it's just been plummeting ever since. So it's actually kind of nice to start to see things move in the right direction, especially Bitcoin. Got to get these altcoins to climb on board. Yeah, when Jewel is going to like jump up, would love to see a little bit more of that, but taking it day by day and just seeing how everything's going to progress.
Absolutely, I love it. I love it. Dags, welcome back. You're one half of the Jewelers cast here. What are you guys up to? You guys, well, for those who don't know, where can people find you, and when do you guys typically stream?
Oh man, I don't even know the name of our YouTube link, but I mean, if you find me or Mega on Twitter, you have links to the Discord and the YouTube. And I mean, you guys, we obviously see what's going on in the crypto space here, but I mean, pretty much me and Mega are just two dudes playing a video game right now. So
Dudes playing a video game. I love it. I love it. Plug for Trade Room. Follow him on Twitter or X, I suppose. YouTube. When can people see you stream Trade Room? Do you have an ongoing schedule?
Yeah, for sure. So we stream every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Nice.
That is the Trade Room, with the room being two numerical zeros. But we get on the charts, then we dive into the DFK ecosystem, and then we do something cool at the end of it, especially with our $13 holla, which is showcasing 4 dynamic players managing a $13 account while participating in the DFK ecosystem. And we have our 1v1 winner takes all battle coming up. We just need Frixty Fox to let us know the official date, because we're tight. We're tight on our release on that. So Frisky, come on, Christian. What can somebody
Watching?
let us know
Watching.
when that's dropping? Because we got release dates here. Come on, man.
Christian, you stream Mondays, but you don't. I mean, you've had some pretty awesome hot guests lately. Dreamer, I think you have Fox coming up. Mondays, is that your typical stream day? I think you have some off days as well. Where can people find you, and what are you focusing on these days? We'll sort of backtrack that way before we get started here.
Definitely. Thanks, Sarge. Yeah, Monday Night Madness. After Monday Night Football, now we do a little hour stream, typically with one of the DFK crew or people in the community as well. This Monday, Fox is coming up. I'm super excited for that. So Trade Room, I'll definitely get some alpha for you there. But Fox is an amazing guy. I mean, you guys know him. He's the founder of DFK. Just an all-around good dude, came to San Diego. He was in Southern California about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I actually got a chance to sit down with him and have tacos. So we had a chance to talk for a little bit. Had Dreamer on last week. Dreamer's always great for, giving it, shooting straight, telling us what's going on, the president of Kingdom Studios, and, just a great guy. And then I love having the community members on as well. I mean, you guys are all awesome. You all have your own little niche, and it's fun to listen to everybody. I was just listening to the Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms crew before I jumped on here. Ralph and Neindorf were giving us some alpha on, what's going on with the boar hunts and what were the best weapons and what were the updates and the patch notes that came up. And so it's fun. It's fun to hear all the different people talking about whatever their main goal is in the game. And, it's just continuing to get built out. So excited about what's coming up.
Love it. Love it. And again, this is a harkening back to hot takes of old, to the way it'll operate is each of our guests here will represent someone in the community here, and we'll award points arbitrarily. We'll have set of questions, 60 seconds per question. Christian, Peter, you are repping. Let's see who you're repping here. Oh, Christian Peter, you're repping yourself. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, we can't have that. We'll draw again. Usually I draw these on the back end, sort of new at this again. Don't mind the technical difficulties, people. They come with the territory. There you go. You're repping RAF ADFK. We've got a prize here for you all. Trade Room, you're repping. Oh, Mr. Dog Hype. All right. Kupo, let's see who you repping. You are repping. While that's spinning here, we'll go ahead and show you what we're giving away today. We are giving away a 10 of 10 Legionnaire. Legendary. Kupo, you're repping my fave OST. Welcome. And then we'll do one final draw here. Dags, you will be repping. Let's find out who you are repping. Trade Room. You know what? We won't do that. I'll pick. You're repping Sticks Intern. Sorry, Trade Room. I just rubbed you. Get used to it. It's my show. We rub people left and right. Let's go ahead and get some questions started here in a sec. All right, so 60 seconds. Christian, Peter, we'll go ahead and start with you here. You may have seen. I mean, I would say it feels like it happened, virtually overnight. Sentiment is up, and price action is up as well for a lot of these different projects. Things like BTC and ETH reflect some of those high feelings, some of that high sentiment. Have we buried the bear, and is this the beginning of the bull run? 60 seconds on the clock.
Definitely. We've been through our 18 months of bear. We are heading into the springtime. This is when the bull run starts. So there will be some bumps and turns along the way, but we have weathered the major storm. Everything is kind of shaking its way out. And, the projects that are still here, when we get to the next bull run and new people start coming into the crypto ecosphere, it'll be an amazing time. We've got the Bitcoin ETF on the way, which is going to just be a godsend for people who want to invest in Bitcoin. And now we found out that BlackRock just filed for an ETH ETF. So that's going to be even better. I'm a huge DeFi fan. I love everything that goes on in the decentralized community. And, DeFi Kingdoms was a project that came on my radar in 2021. And I have been here ever since, and we've been through this tumultuous times, but now we're finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Time's up here. What Trade Room, Mr. Trade Room, is the bear dead? Is the bull here to stay? What says you?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, and we were saying this a lot in the bear market within the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, where tiers look bullish, Moksha runes look bullish, and some short-term bullish, some long-term bullish. So within the current cycle that we are in, Bitcoin has definitely shown a reverse. And it's interesting, at the point where it hit at around 38K, between 38K and 46K is a very dangerous area. But that's also a range that could determine a macro bear reversal. And we're not only now starting to see it in Bitcoin, we're seeing it in Solana, which went down an additional 60% after the Sam Bankman-Fried incident. So the climb to the Sam Bankman-Fried incident was just a start. Now we're in the form of a bull market with a long way to go.
I love it. I love it. Mr. Kupo, the bear market done. Mr. Dreamer, he successfully fought the bear and he's won. Is that true? Or am I full of it? Is the bull here to stay?
So for a guy who's only been here ever since the Bears kind of started, it's kind of nice to start to see things take an opposite direction. We're seeing the climbs. We got the Bitcoin that's kind of moving up. We got some stress tests that are being passed right now. So there is a lot of potential that's going to be happening here. We're seeing it all around crypto, not just in DeFi kingdoms. We're seeing it in the Bitcoin. We're seeing it in a couple of the projects. We've shaken out all the other projects that were either copycats or projects that just basically had weak white papers or people didn't have a good community. We're strong. We're looking good. We're about to catch that train. Those have been loyal to crypto and those have been loyal to the DeFi Kingdom project in general. We're looking to have ourselves a very successful future as long as we keep progressing forward. So people, don't give up hope. Keep being optimistic. I'm always trying to be optimistic, and I'm hoping that we can all together progress as a family. Boom. 60 seconds.
I love it. I love it. Hey, sometimes it's not always about the community, but how the community helps for sure. Dags, you started by saying, "Hey, I'm just a guy playing a game," but at what point does that start mattering maybe a little less, and you start focusing on those ka-ching dollars raining in? Is the bull market here? Is the bear dead?
Yeah, maybe for now. But I mean, it's always a cycle. So we'll have ups, we'll have downs. Hopefully, we never go this low again, especially with like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and especially with you have BlackRock moving in. I honestly I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like when you have like BlackRock, and I mean the hedge funds are already here, so who am I kidding, right? But like when they start getting support and they start getting control, and that's kind of when I feel like guys like us, like maybe we, if you haven't acted already, how close are you to already missing your chance? Is kind of where I'm at. So if the bull is here, hopefully we shoot up to maybe to a new high and never this low again. So there will be another bear, but yeah, I think we're kind of out of those waters for a bit, and we can kind of breathe a sigh of relief.
All right. Well, we buried the hat. Sorry,
Kick me out, Jesus.
Took the wrong one down. yeah. That's what I think of your take. It's bad. No. Well, I guess it's all decided. Bear's dead. Bull's here to stay. The next logical question, ladies and gentlemen, is hey, things are pumping. You see, BTC, you see ETH pumping. Hell, you see a lot of GameFi projects pumping. Are you worried Jules not moved as much as maybe some of these other GameFi projects? Trade Room, we'll start with you. Bro, you worried?
I'm not worried. It's going to be a boring ride to 30 cents. That was the local high we had when we had our low. We created a lower low, but that's what created a macro bullish divergence. And from there, we scoped out that we had an inverse head and shoulders, a macro inverse head and shoulders that takes some time to play out. So as this intern would say, I'm going to repeat, economic hardening is something that normally within a business cycle takes about 3 to 5 years to occur. And right now we're, in the early stages of that cycle. And so as long as I'm seeing what I'm seeing from the team in the economic hardening, I'm not worried about Jewel at all. I have devious strategies, as you know, with gold and with yellow pet eggs and some other items within the game that I enjoy playing with on occasion. So absolutely not worried at all.
I love it. You're not worried. Hey, that's good news. But Dags, bro, you worried? I mean, I can't help but if you look at the market for a minute, everything's moving up. Are you feeling left behind?
Honestly, I was kind of hoping that more of the game would have been completed before we moved into a bull run. So I don't look at the numbers enough to know if this was bad timing for DFK. At least we have some gameplay, right? And before I jumped in here, I was scrolling X, and someone posted like all these games, all these Web3 games, and the growth they're showing, and how a lot of them, some are up like 70%. And I didn't even see, I didn't see Jewel on the list, of course, because we're still sitting at 11 cents. I think honestly, as this develops, it's going to go up. But even when it hit $5, $10, I was like, this was way too high. So now that was when we were in Harmony, and now they have more control over gas fees and stuff like that. So Jewel can go as high as freaking wants. But worried, no, but impatient.
I hear you. Kupo, I mean, bro, Luna is up, I think, 20%. And why, I don't know. Are you worried, Kupo? I mean, Jewel not going up the way you maybe want to see some of these other projects going up. What's your sentiment? How do you feel about that?
Wow, I don't even want to talk about Luna, but going back to Jewel, yeah, it is going a little slower than I would like it to go right now. But as Dag said, I was kind of glad that we got some content out there finally. It's not as much content as some of these other projects that are advancing a little bit farther right now, but we got something. DFK is at least solid, so I am feeling confident with Jewel. We might not be the ones to catch the early train, but we're going to be the ones that are going to catch that bullet train once we actually reach the point where DFK becomes an actual playable game. We're going to attract some of our old people. We're going to get some of the whales back on board. We're going to get our gamers going on. Once word of mouth gets going on, once the game mechanics start going play, besides just more than just a boar hunt and doing like profession quests, we're really going to start seeing development. There's a lot of promise ahead. We've gotten some glimpses and features that are going to be coming out. So where the long run's going, I'm feeling very confident where Jewel is heading. But it is going to be a slow ride to the top.
I love it. I love it. Not the fat. Hey, we're gonna be that bullet train at some point. That's my takeaway. Hot take there, Christian Peter. Are you terrified? Are you? How do you feel? How do you feel? I know you're bullish on the game. You're bullish on a variety of different things. But I mean, as a realist, how do you feel about Jewel maybe not pumping like some of these other projects? Could this maybe be, a good thing?
Well, just like everybody's already mentioned, there's ups and downs to it. We're at the very beginning of what could be a very long ride. We haven't even hit the Bitcoin happening yet. Last time, if history is a good indicator of everything, Bitcoin got happened in May, and we didn't see anything happen until November, December. So, with Bitcoin happening in April this year or next year, we should probably start to see things towards the end of next year, at least some type of a bull market like the past bull markets that have come up. But until that time, there's no reason to get worried about anything. I mean, the market's going to go up, the market's going to go down. It's nice to see it go up, but all coins don't go up exactly the same. I mean, Jewel went up tremendously in December of 2021 when everything was kind of leveling off and coming down. So I don't take into account anything. It's just sentiment right now. So until new players come in the game, until there's more money in the game, Brown Gen always does a great job at that, showing like once you start to get new people coming in who enjoy playing, that's great. Until we get that point, we're going to be in the level playing field that we are right now.
Beautiful. No, I love it. And like you all, it's let's say this is the start of the bull run. It's the start. It's not the end. There's hopefully plenty of time to be able to make some moves here in the right direction as far as price sentiment goes. But let's transition a little here. NFA, trade room. I know you're bullish on gold, but what's that next DFK asset to pump? And don't say gold, Dags. I'll let you say gold if you want, trade room. Dags, let's start with you. What's that next DFK asset maybe pump a bit here?
Damn, I was hoping to have more time to think about that. I have no idea. I know right now we're riding Moksha runs. They're gonna have to release another run. Let's see. What is gonna be the next thing to pump? I'm gonna go with ore.
Okay.
That's what's gonna pump. We're gonna be scrambling for ore and crafting supplies because we don't have any yet. We don't have anybody who can acquire them yet. And so I think when crafting hits, that's what we're going to be scrambling for. Now that kind of sucks because crafting's a little bit a ways, and what are we going to be? Just riding mokshas. But I mean, I really think it's going to be that next level of supply, and I think people, especially people with thousands of heroes who have the ability to just make a ton of items, are going to be rolling in the dough.
Hey, it's all about using those other sort of in-game assets, right? Making you burning some of these assets tremendous. Is that an old fashioned you're drinking?
Yeah, but the cherries in it, I ran out of good ones, so I took some from my kids who have those
Okay, no,
shitty
that's
ones.
hey, 2 points for that. You got to be creative sometimes. Kupo, uh, the next DFK asset to pump. What do you think it is, and why?
Whew, all right, with gold off the table and with Dag's already taking like the good answers away, I'm going to probably have to say we're going to have to take a look into some of the stuff we're already getting like right now. I mean, look what Swift Thistle has done since Stamina Potions came out. So there could be really anything that we might have already sitting in our inventories that could actually be the next best thing. But if I had to like really put out like a prediction for something that I feel that's going to actually take off really well, it's probably going to be like some of the stuff that we already have like craftable now. And I'm looking at like the potions primarily. They're already talking about how they're going to be introducing that we're going to be bringing our own potions. I remember that from the last stream that we had with Dreamer, how he said that we're going to be able to bring our own stuff on board. We're getting quite used to using like 3 potions a shot as it is with these void hunts, and that's just void hunts. What about dungeons and other stuff? So definitely consumable items. Potions is definitely going to be something we're looking at, but it's going to be other consumable items that we're going to be using on our adventures as well. But my vote is going to definitely be like for potions now and craftable consumables later.
I love it. Dags, I like your response.
I feel so freaking dumb. I have like hundreds of mana potions and I don't say potions.
It's all right. It's all right. See, we're switching it out. We're seeing how quick you're on your feet. It's all right. You're good. Next opportunity here. Christian, what's the next DFK asset to pump? We'll go ahead and quote it. We're gonna make it into an official meme. This is officially used. I'm just kidding. NFA, of course. In your opinion, let's speculate recklessly here. What's that next item?
Well, Kupo stole my BYOP. So, since potions are gonna, they're the worst kept secret now that everybody knows that we're gonna have to start bringing our own. I think that we might as well just go with the bloater. Those guys have got to go up from the 1 nano cent that they're worth right now to maybe 2 or 3. I know Sticks Intern's with me on this, right, big boy? So, these bloaters have got to pump a little bit, but realistically, I think that Mokshas are still, the one thing that has that demand that you have to have them until we get to level 30 and we get that new ruin that comes out from 20 to 30. Mokshas are the only thing really that has that desirability that are limited. So, the Mokshas, I think, could hit $2. I've said it all along for the last month or two. I win pretty much all my boar hunts when I have heroes that are in those high levels, 16, 17. That's as high as I've got mine right now, but they win all the time. So I'll go with Mokshas.
Hey, it tried and true. I mean, what we're hearing here is, Moshkas aren't done. They're not done pumping. So I love it. Trade room. I will let you say gold if that's where you want to go. But the hotter the take, the more points. Give me something fresh. What's gonna pump next? Speculate with us.
Well, listen, you know the theme here. But it is not gold specifically. It is the yellow pet egg.
Okay.
And the simple calculation behind that is the breakout launch of the green pet eggs, their run up proceeding to that, and then the demand once they realize the utility behind the green pet egg. And so it's simply a play on the repeats of what we've seen already with something of a questing feature that is a 4-hour requirement, opposed to the fishers and the foragers, which are by minutes. And so there's a less of a supply, bring in some demand to the miners, bring the glory back to the miners. And that's kind of like my lore for why I'm looking at specifically the gold eggs. But really, every single thing that is listed in the bazaar that is building, buy, and sell wall over the next 6 months is viable.
Oh, I love that. That is a hot take for sure. Give you some points for that. Let's keep asking some questions here.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, ladies and gents. You know, well, this much we know, and I keep saying this, and I think this is true, and I can maybe stand by this. At the very least, we're one day closer from being done with a bear. With that said, as far as a new realm, strategically, if you had it upon yourself to be able to say, hey, you know what, here's when we launch that next round, that next realm. When do you do it, and why? We'll go ahead and start with you, Kupo. I mean, strategically thinking, you're a dreamer. You have it upon yourself to be able to say, hey, you know what, we're launching our next whatever realm, this day. And more so, give us the reason why you would say, hey, this period in time, I'm launching a new realm. Why are you launching a new realm? Tell me when and when ish. Speculate with us.
All right. Well, if I had to speculate a new realm, I would say no time soon. We still have some development we have to do on the current realms. Clayton's gas is very high. Our gameplay is very low. So there's a lot of tinkering that we still have to do. Now, don't get me wrong. Launching a new realm is going to be great because we do want to bring in the new partners. We want to bring in that concept that DeFi Kingdoms was always looking at to try to bring together everybody in the cryptoverse to kind of be together within like one main project to like be like the Lord of the Rings, one project to rule them all type thing. But it's not going to be anytime soon. If I had to guess, probably at least a good solid year. That could be a long time in crypto, as everybody knows that crypto time does not calculate the same way as like real time. We have to see how this bear market's going to kill itself off. We have to see what type of gameplay we're going to have going on. We got to get things like gas under control. We got to get these new mechanics going. So we still have a little bit of time still before we get that new realm out there, but it's going to happen.
Love it. So you're saying let's wait a minute, maybe too soon. I appreciate it. There's a lot of housekeeping to do before we can even think about opening up a new wing of the house here. I love it. Christian, I know you've said that, right, and I think like many people, what really attracted you was the high APRs you saw with when Jules sort of first launched. Uh, you launch a new realm, you have some of these high APRs, and now you have a game to keep them. How long are you waiting before this new this new realm launches, and why are you sort of maybe speculating as to that being the perfect time?
That's a great question, Sarge. And now that you mentioned those high APRs, that's all I can get my mind wrapped around is that 26,000% APR that comes out on the first day of trading. So, I'm hoping that we hit a new realm in 1 year from today, November 10th, 2024. Why? Because we've got a presidential election. The economy is going to be zooming. We're going to be in an incredible bull market, and everybody's going to be looking for whatever they possibly can get, that narrative that says, wow, this is really cool. Check out these APRs. Check out this game. Look at this community that's so into it. It doesn't take much, like we all know, in a bull market to get things running. Just a little sense that this might be something cool. Then all of a sudden it gets latched onto by a couple of people, and next thing you know, boom, moon. So it's one of those things where now we've actually got a game. I mean, I always go back to, Axie Infinity. They had nothing until they had something. It took them 3 years. They got it. Bull market, boom.
Hey, November of next year, not a bad time, and it may be the perfect time. We'll wait and see. Trade room, I mean, changing up the game plan in terms of maybe repeating or recycling sort of the game plan that got us here in the first place. Good move, bad move, whatever you may think, but we're definitely going to launch a new realm. That's just the hero tree sort of just implies that there's just going to be more rounds, at least one or two, right? When and why?
Well, that speaks to a bit of what we're going to talk about in this Saturday stream at 7:30 Eastern on the
Oh, you
Facebook.
gotta plug yourself. I love it. You get more points for that. Beautiful.
But yeah, it's when Jewel and when Moon, and I think really the sleeper in this whole entendre is the AVAX blockchain and the subnets and the liquidity that floods into AVAX during this next 6 to 8 months. I think the AVAX blockchain is highly underrated and underestimated, and that could be a part of what carries us through here. But what was the original question? I think I even got lost in.
Yeah, no worries. When are we launching that new realm?
Oh, so yes. Strategically, you want to launch when the market has given high sentiment. So 8 to 12 months.
Love it. Dags, you're probably going to say tomorrow, and I'm going to give you 50 points for that because it's bullish. It may be wrong, but it's a hot take. I mean, tell us when we're launching that new realm and why.
Tomorrow on ETH.
All right, that was it.
But seriously, like Axie's on a subnet of ETH. What's that other one? Illuvium's on a subnet of ETH. What? Like, why are we staying away from it? Personally, do I want to play games on ETH? No, not really. But I liked Harmony when it was like when it worked and when it was like 4 cents. But when whatever's done first, PvP, PvE, full throttle, hit the gas, let's go. That's what I think. When I don't know, when's that going to be done? Anybody know when that's going to be done? But I mean, I don't think we can be considered a serious Web3 game and stay away from Ethereum. It's like we're running from it. We can't do it. We just got to get balls deep up in there.
All right, we're gonna put up a quote: "Balls deep up in Ethereum." I love it. Well, with all that said, right? We heard on our most recent AMA Bolon sort of addressing the elephants in the room. Hey, when marketing? I think we've all been asking that question. We now have a game. I think at least something we can all sort of turn to and say that is a game. In fact, it is, right? We've got some of the other pieces we're building, and things seem to be turning in the right direction. When marketing, the question for you, Mr. Kupo, is give me a fresh marketing idea that won't break the bank. 60 seconds on the clock for you.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I mean, these guys have already done some pretty good marketing as it is. They're showing up at these major crypto conferences. They've got themselves a community going on. They're very active on the Discord and Twitter. New marketing, that is tricky. Well, they are actually attempting to make the new opportunity to go onto Twitterverse when they're actually going to be doing these like streams and stuff. So that's actually kind of a cool concept. I would have to say they continue to expand themselves onto other social platforms. There are a load of other platforms beyond Twitter, of course, Twitter being the main for the crypto, but we do have like Facebook, and we do have ourselves, heck, we can even get ourselves some extra things going on, and maybe like TikTok, Twitch, they were already talking about. So I would say expand yourself, go onto other social platforms, participate a little bit, maybe offer some giveaways and other type of concepts to the streamers like they used to, and just kind of bring back something that won't break the bank with them by going with these platforms.
Hey, TikTok, some of these other platforms, try what people aren't necessarily trying. We've heard, I know, Christian, you've heard, TikTok is where it may be at here in the foreseeable future. But what are you doing to tackle this marketing question? Do you have any fresh ideas for the team? Maybe things they've not yet considered?
Yeah, we actually considered it last week with Dreamer, October 2024, baby. DFK Con. That's what I want to get done. That's the big thing on the horizon. I've talked to Bolon about it. I've talked to Fox about it. We're going to make it happen. That is the best way to market anything, you guys, is with and get together in real life. Kupo hit the nail on the head. You got to go to the conferences. You got to put in the time. You got to meet the people. It just takes a few people at every conference to make these things worth it. Zealous did an amazing job the last conference we were at, 3XP. DFK Helper, he continues to push the game forward. But everybody in the community needs to go out there. There's always things that are going on in your area. And that's the cool thing, is you never know where they're going to be. They're going to be in Texas. They're going to be in Florida. They're going to be in Barcelona. They're going to be in Singapore. You can go out there and just meet a couple people and say, hey, I love playing this DeFi Kingdoms. You should come check it out. And people will. That's the best marketing there is.
I love it. And what a perfect opportunity to plug this in. If you are in the San Diego area next week, Saturday, November 18th, we are having a meetup. We've got Bolon coming in. I think Dreamer may or may not be coming. Christian, I'm not sure if you've got more insight there. I know Dr. J here in the chat, he's coming. Any additional pieces, nuggets to sort of share there, Christian?
I guess I get a time now. Yeah, I think that Sarge, you were the instrumental one behind this last year when you posted your little tweet and said, "Hey, anybody want to get together in real life?" And I was like, "Sure, let's do it." And I thought it would just be me and you hanging out and drinking beers, but more people showed up than we thought. Right? There was like 15 people there, and including a couple of significant others. So I was like, "Wow, this is cool. This is really fun." And Bolon said he'd come out to our next one. So all it takes is a couple of people to get together, have fun. Get a laptop together, summon a couple of heroes. Now we have PvE. We can fight the boars. We can, have a little fun. Maybe somebody wins an item. I still can't believe some of these amulets are selling for $1,400, $1,500, guys. That's nuts. I love the new items that come in the game, and all of a sudden there's that demand again where you're like, wow, I can actually go out and make something. There's a market for these items. But yeah, I feel like having these in-person, real life events is where it's at. Get together with a couple people. It doesn't take too much, and just enjoy it.
Absolutely. Trade room. Give me a fresh marketing idea. Something that maybe doesn't break the bank, something innovative. Give it to me, baby. Let's hear it.
Okay. Check this, right? The holiday wallet dropped, and it was the best way to get new users in. No MetaMask issues. Let's go. And a lot of us went full force, and we ran into the 3 to 4 month bug fix issue. Okay. So it made us step back a little bit. Just a little bit. But you know what? We communicated with Holiday via Twitter. We sent the snapshots. Now, 3 weeks later, it's running smooth like butter. So with the holidays coming now, we that have been in the ecosystem have a better sentiment about going out there full force and say, hey, check this cool game I'm playing out. Use your Gmail. Get right in. That is the game changer, and we don't need marketing for that. We are going to do it willingly.
Oh, that is a hot take. Hey, tap into us, the community. Tell your friends. Force, twist their arms a little. Hey, doesn't hurt. Dags, what are you doing? To sort of give me a fresh marketing idea, something we've not heard, something that's innovative, and maybe won't break the bank. Give it to me, baby.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows that if you want to market properly, you release your own brand of tequila. Easy.
Okay.
Jewel. There it is. Or if you don't want to go down the route of addiction, which I'm pretty sure we're all here because of addiction, this is just an AA meeting. You could develop some sort of course that teaches kids about cryptocurrency and LP pools and all that stuff, right? And then you can work in taxes as well. So you can go the education route and just have schools sell it. Maybe that would break the bank. I don't know. I work with some schools where they're doing stuff like that and they don't have any money. I know because I'm their accountant. But as far as like fresh stuff, marketing stuff, I don't know. Mega does all the marketing for us. I just show up. So tequila and schooling, not together, but
Hey, why not together?
Put it on the merch store.
We've got one last question here on the docket. We've got Doug Hype here backstage. He says he's got some incredible news to share. We'll give him an opportunity to share that with them. Will he bring cake? We'll find out. All right, last question. Go back to you, Christian. We'll have you start us off. Is it a coincidence? All the point here, kind of. I don't know. I don't look. I just award. Um, all right, we talked marketing, but I would argue, and we've talked about this before. DFK doesn't necessarily have a marketing issue; they've got an image issue. How do you address that image issue? How do you let the masses know that DFK was not indeed the rug pull they've all been led to believe? Christian, we'll put some time up on the clock for you. Uh, how do you spread that word? We're not a rug pull.
That's a great question, Sarge. I mean, making it through this bear market is going to be one of the biggest things that any crypto company can do. So I think that that's the big thing, is being able to make your way out of it and show the progress that you made along the way. That's the other point, is that they keep delivering. I mean, even Dreamer said this is like, if we were going to pull the rug on out of, everybody's investment, then we would have probably done it during the peak, not at the bottom. And if they make it all the way through this huge, drawdown and everybody's wallets over the last 18 months, and then come out the other side, even if Jewel goes to 20 cents or 25 cents, who cares, right? It's like they've made it through. They're developing, they're building a project. It's like, things shouldn't be judged on where they're at today. They should be judged at where they came from. And they've come a long way. So I think the image will take care of itself once we get there.
I love it. Trade room. I want to hear your take. How do we fix DFK's image issue?
Well, it's just like when you're in a relationship with anyone. Certain things happen that mess with your psychology. So anybody that has a bad image of DFK, just it happened in a period in time where it might have brought a shot to their psychology if they were not prepared. But if you're able to understand where the market is going, you can take a quick analysis of what's happening in the DFK ecosystem and understand that it's like 10, 20 fold from where it was when it was running those ridiculous numbers. And so even if it's a slow build, there's going to be new sentiment coming in. There's about 7.999 billion other people in the world. They'll get a chance to analyze this in the fairgrounds and determine what happens. And when you look at Axie Infinity, they were trading pesos, with some economic things, global economic things going on. So take a look at the current climate and then, decide what you think.
I love it. Your take is, hey, you know what? We can fix sentiment, but there's no looking back. Let's look forward. Let's get these people who are newly coming into the ecosystem. Let's give them the good word of Gaia. Dags, let me hear it. What do you do to fix the image issue DFK maybe has? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you need a liaison. And I know we've heard Grady talk about it, right? We need someone to go and talk to all those people who have been like, oh, this game, I lost so much money, blah, 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 and show them, like, this is a real game. It's not what you thought when you left, and it's coming along, and they haven't quit, and they're still developing, they're still producing. And I know Stakes Intern said it in the chat, right? He had a meeting with someone, and they were blown away by gameplay. I think that's going to happen. There's some people you're not going to turn, but I mean, we got George, didn't we? So it's like, there's just people who they hear a name and they're like, I'm not even going to read the rest of this thread. And that's our problem. And it's you just have closed-minded people who are like, that hurt me once, it'll hurt me again. It's like fantasy football. How many times have you not drafted another quarterback who killed you last year and then he rips it up this year? And it's like, that's kind of how it is. You got to bring them back and you got to show them. We need a liaison. There it is.
No, I love it. And you bring up an interesting point. I think, like many people, I came into the project because I heard it from George, Cryptos R Us. And then he comes around and he says, hey, you know what? Maybe rug pull. Now, he didn't say that exactly, but that's sort of what you read into by hearing him sort of maybe not talk favorably about the project. And sure enough, a cascade of messaging or misinformation after the fact. But he has since come around and he said, hey, you know what? I He's an ambassador. He's part of the team in sort of a way here. But cat's out of the bag, right? Messaging's out, damage been done, and people who were hurt by the project, maybe took huge losses. If I were them, I don't care whether or not it wasn't a rug pull. I was hurt so bad financially that maybe I don't want to come back. And to your point, trade room, those people may be lost forever. No looking back. We've got to look forward. Kupo, how are we turning sentiment as far as this isn't a rug pull comeback, or like many people are saying, just putting it out there, or just say, hey, we're not a rug pull. As a matter of fact, here's our project. Check us out.
Yeah, so the DFK team has been through quite a lot in like the last year, with everything happening in the cryptoverse, in addition to like the exploit that happened and it wasn't taken care of immediately. They're a lot more engaged now. They are more aware of different things that could happen. They're realizing that they can't just rush content. And that's the reason why we're getting such low content right now. So it's because they're being thorough. They're trying to look at every angle. They're making sure that these type of situations don't happen again. So our build is a little slower than we would like it to be. They have a lot of this stuff already ready to go, but they're being cautious. So that's one thing that I'm very happy about seeing with this team, is the fact they're taking their time to review all angles. They're not just popping out a new token. They're just not propping out a new mechanic, not waiting for somebody to exploit something or for one item to become like OP and like suddenly like it's draining the overall assets. Between what they've been working with in the last year, I feel that there's a lot of confidence because they're taking their time, they're engaged with the community, and they're just overall just trying to be with us during the whole bear market.
No, I love it. And cautious is good for sure. I'm looking at point count here, Mr. Dax. You may have come from behind. Congrats here on the victory. I forgot who you were repping. Do you remember? If not, I have to go back to the tape.
The intern. I came from behind by being balls deep in ETH.
Yeah, balls deep. Gotcha. All right, Sticks intern. Congrats. You win a Legionnaire 10 of 10, Gen 1 here. Hit me up. I think I may have Eurolax, but if I don't, send it my way, and we'll go from there. We've got as teased out here mid-show, we've got a special surprise guest, the one and only Mr. Doug Hype. Welcome to a Gander Doug Hype. Bring the hype. Give me cake.
Oh yeah. Okay. This whole discussion that's happening right now, all of you guys here, all of you guys in these boxes, everybody down there in these chats right now, let me tell you something. Like, I've heard a few really smart things in the past 60 seconds. Usually I run around the metaverse and I'm like, who are all these idiot degens that think they're like Jewel's going to be at $800, right? Because I bought it when it was like $20, okay? Just so you know how smart I am. So this is the thing, guys. I heard somebody say there needs to be a liaison, and I am the laziest Zon that there is in the metaverse, okay? I'm at home. I just finished eating a whole carrot cake right now. You know what I'm saying? So I actually talked to KP about this like briefly because things have in the past week have been kind of something happened, right? And I want to kind of tell you the story of what happened because like a gigantic like windfall, like a gold, a bit like, like when you follow the rainbow and you want to find gold, like it just fell in my lap. It's like a rainbow popped out of the sky and the gold just like landed right here. And this is the thing. I always make these jokes about how good the DFK community is. It's so hardcore. Everyone loves it so much. If I jump in the Discord and say anything that doesn't pump their bags, they're like, get the hell out of here. Like they just are like, don't even come in here anymore, Doug. Even though you had a partnership with Dragon's Crossing, we don't want to hear about it. Like, get the hell out of here. We're on TV now. We're celebrities. And I'm like, I thought I was important. Not anymore. Because they're just loving it so much. And now there's like a game. You can like play it and like fight boars and stuff that just destroy me every time. But this is the thing. For things to be successful, you need to have a huge amount of engagement and new players. And how do you do that? You get that through liaisons, through media, through influence and content creators like you guys here. But the thing is that like you can make all the greatest content in the world. If people don't see it and they don't know you're around it doesn't matter. Like you can just go throw it in the garbage or give it to your neighbor. It's like when you're at home and playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're the best dungeon master in the world, if nobody but your neighborhood knows it, it's never going to get beyond to that point, right? So that's a good analogy, McNasty. I just made
that. Is pretty.
Write that down.
Pretty. I've got some bad quotes. That was a good one. That was quotable.
Yeah, that's my best one yet. And the things I love Dungeons and Dragons and all this stuff. I love it. Ever since I was a little kid, I thought it was really cool. I even made that show Chad Vader, and all my friends were dungeon masters and Dungeons and Dragons people, and I love it. So this is the thing, though. Like, it's really hard to do all this stuff, to connect everything. And Web3 in general is like very disconnected. There's only a few good Web3 gaming shows that exist. We've got a lot of influencers in this space, like that are well known. Like Stash is like the OG. We got Classy Games, people like Spike and Icy, and the people running around talking about Web3 gaming all the time, right? We got Web3 gamers that are famous, like Orangey, who was won millions of dollars in Fortnite tournaments, and then won $500,000 in the Dookie Dash with the Bored Apes, right? Stuff like that. We got Cairo, who is the top player in Dead Drop, which is like Dr. Disrespect's good name game. And guess what, McNasty? All those motherfuckers are on my goddamn brand new Web3 gaming show dropping next fucking week, McNasty. Okay?
I love it, dude.
Do you have a button for fucking applause? I don't have the button ready for me right now. Where's the applause button?
I'm sure I've got it. It's not what you're asking for, but I think it'll do the job for now.
All right, I'm share to you right now why you guys, that might excite regular people, but DFK people are like, why do I care? I have to go fight boars. Now, I just shared to you something that this is going to be the first time in pure public anybody has put eyes on this, because it's so brand new and it's so huge, right? The reason that this gaming show is going to be huge is because the new gaming hub owned, which is run by like Spike and Icy and these guys and tons of influencers. They've gotten like 30 content creators all together in one place, and they have tons of people in the Discord, and they have $1 million gaming tournament starting on Monday.
I heard, yeah.
Right.
And I just want to say, Doug, you bring up some really great important points in this space, especially because we're a small community. It's important to make these connections, and I know people like you are definitely making these connections. And I've slowly done some of these things, right? Where I've had Classy and I've had Icy. You're getting out, you're making these connections, and you've gone above and beyond. You've created a show. When does this show go live? Where can people catch it?
I want you to show my shared little screen thing here, because so I've been. Can they see it? It's so tiny. So look at this, okay? You see, there's Crypto Stash. There's Classy Games. There's Icy. There's Sam from Wolves DAO. There's Spike launching the cannon. I'm going to be firing out of the cannon. You've got Scott Herman from Wagme Games, who is got 3 million followers on YouTube. You got Orangey jumping out of the glass window with explosions with his guns ablazing, because that's what he likes to do in RPGs. He comes up from above and he just lands on you and shoots you from the top of your head. And he just actually played in the Shrapnel playtest that happened a couple of days ago and shredded everybody, right? And guess what? The Shrapnel guy, Tony's right there. See that dude with the beard? He's right next to Stash. So right now I'm in talks with major sponsors and major games. Shrapnel just got $20 million of investment money, and their game is fucking amazing, right? They're going to lead the way possibly in Web3, like legit Web3 gaming. They're doing so much publicity, games, whatever. And so I'm in talks with them right now, and I show them this image, and they were like, holy shit. They could not believe it. They're like, this is fucking blowing our mind right now. And these guys are filming whole TV shows with their funding, right? They're doing like everything you can imagine, right? So there's all this stuff happening and going on. I've got even conferences. Well, I just got chosen to be the MC of the Rare Evo conference and MC in the entire conference. They're going to possibly be a sponsor too. And I've got Big Time coming. I've got Champions IO coming. I've got Parallel coming. You name a big fucking Web3 game, and they're going to be on this show the first fucking day. All right. Because when you bust your ass and have the support of people like this amazing owned like hub, right? I'm just like, I haven't slept for 5 days, McNasty, at all. All I've been doing is like working behind the scenes and putting this together. Because they called me. They're like, Doug, we need to have a show. Can you just do a show and like do things about what we do or whatever? And I was like, fuck yeah, $1 million gaming tournament. Let's go. And if you notice, there's somebody on the left hand of this picture you might recognize. You might know who that is.
Who's that? Tell me. Who is it?
You have to guess? I can't just tell you these things.
Oh, I can't see. I've got bad eyes. And
Let's see. Well, let's see. He's blonde. He looks like he's in a fantasy kingdom. He looks very Gentile. What other hints do I need to give you?
Is that Mr. Christian Peter? No, yes, maybe.
It's close. It's
Dreamer?
close. Yes, it's fucking Dreamer.
No way. Oh.
So Dreamer and Bolon are going to be there fucking too, and they're working right now on being potentially part of the $1 million tournament too, right? We're dealing with all this stuff too, which is a way for. This is a thing that's crazy about this whole like tournament owned and my show is that we have streamers with like millions of followers and Web2 gaming, Fortnite, whatever, that are part of this project. And so we're going to have people see what's going on with us and advertising through like, you know, all this streaming stuff through like, because dude, Fortnite OG is crazy right now. For a couple of days, you couldn't even get in the game because there's millions of people waiting to log in to the goddamn lobby to Fortnite OG, right? So gaming right now is going great. And even Web3 gaming, like you mentioned earlier in the show, a lot of it's doing great. Like fucking Shrapnel just got $20 million investment, dude. And they had like plenty of other money too. And they're just throwing it all over the place. They're like, Doug, what do you need? Like, we'll write you a fucking check. Whatever, bro. You're the shit. I just won their chibi contest. They have always these, whenever there's a contest, McNasty, I fucking win it, okay? They did a little chibi contest. It was all cute and shit. And I was like, boom, here's a Doug Hype version of a chibi eating a cake. And they're like, here's your prize.
I might win a cake eating contest, but I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you this question. You come on. We're talking DFK. You talk Dreamer. You talk Bolon. You may have spilled some beans that weren't meant to be spilled just yet, but you've spilled them. Let's get them out there.
I don't care about beans or spilling. If you didn't notice, I care about getting people's butts in DeFi kingdoms.
Absolutely.
And getting people getting shit done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I appreciate that. And I do.
The amount of like risk I had to take to put all this stuff together, holy crap, dude. Like,
so let me ask you then this question for DFK, for Dreamer, for Bolon. What does that mean for us, the community, and how can the community be involved in terms of hyping DFK up even more?
So this is why it's really important to talk about this stuff in public and why I'm always shouting from the rooftops, because no matter how hard I work, if everybody else doesn't involve themselves, it just dies at some point, right? When you have something like Twitter and even an army of content creators and the own.gg project, like if you don't have a very specific vision and goals and ways to like promote it, you can't. So like if you look at this image right now, this is like the first step to be like, okay, I'm going to make some Pixar Disney level type shit, make it look really awesome, spend like 3 days on one picture, graphic design, right? Just putting all this stuff together, inside jokes, all the fun things. So that when I go to meetings with like people, they get blown away. And then I can give this content to people to push out, to advertise it. I'm going to be doing video stuff. I'm going to be doing commercials. You fucking name it, dude. I didn't make one of the biggest YouTube shows ever in the past for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many ways you can promote stuff. And when people see that energy of like people coming together and something like a shiny object, like really a big thing that's awesome, like everyone wants to jump in. So now I also had a discussion today with Whalecoin Talk, the Twitter space that has like, 1,000 people show up whenever they have a space. They're begging me to put the show on their platform and like just for free. Like they're like, please use our platform and all of our people. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do that because I want it to be very controlled in my own thing. And they're like, you can just do whatever you want because they're friends of mine. And they're like, we really want to do stuff with you. And I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. But my point is that like everybody wants to be a part of this thing. And it literally didn't exist a week ago. And there's other cool shows on Twitter, like the Wolves DAO and Sam do cool stuff with like gamified and stuff. And they're great. They have a ton of engagement. A lot of people show up. But nobody's really going over the top and promoting stuff. Like, oh, way the fuck over the top. Huge prizes. Maybe you got to get shot out of a fucking cannon and all this stuff, right? Now, you experienced that a little bit with, like, Next Gem TV show, right? Crypto's Next Gem. And everyone freaked out and went nuts. Oh, we're on TV. But did you get an insane amount of people showing up to play the game? Probably not quite, right? And it's really good to have all this, but you have to keep going and keep doing stuff. Yeah, and people need to be able to connect the dots. You need to have outreach and everyone in the community going out and doing this and like bringing people in, letting them play the game. So with Own, their tournament, what they do is you as a game give them assets and then people can go and do all these quests and they get rewarded if they go and play your game, and they can get rewarded with assets and stuff. So basically, it's a gamified thing where they can do all this questing, and they can level up their own NFT that they get, their Merc. And then there's like $1 million of prizes that they can get from doing that. So it's a game outside of a game, right? Which is really what we have to do. If you think about it, the way that Fortnite OG and all these games are like flying off, like going crazy, is because they have influencers coming in and bringing in their content creators and their audience coming in to play and play in their specified maps and their special events. You have to have special events and spectacle for people to show up. And now when like Fortnite OG did that, now you can't even barely get in the game half the time. There's like a waiting like room just to get in the game, let alone in the lobby to get into the actual game, right? Because they figured out ways to get all that synergy and that hype together, right? You got to have hype to the max.
Can I ask you this then, Doug Hype here? Let's wrap up with this question. When can we catch, when can we support, and where can we see Dreamer and Bolon and Doug Hype and all these amazing, incredible people?
So the tentative schedule, it's not set in stone yet, but it looks like it's going to be next week, Thursday around noon Eastern time. And I'm going to confirm all this stuff and everything. And so that's probably going to be when the show is. So look forward to it then. But also I'm going to get with Bolon and probably come into the AMAs and do some announcements and stuff like that too, since they're coming on the show. We know they're coming on the show. That's a for sure thing. That's like a surprise. They're coming on the show, right? Now, their involvement with Game League and everything, that all has to be officially figured out, but it's a definite possibility, and it's going to be really cool. But the thing is that when other people from other projects see the hype and all the people of DFK go out in droves and show up to my show or any of the stuff happening, that's when people start to get impressed and go like, oh, I better check this out. Here's an example. Parallel was doing really well. It's just a trading card game. And then got people like Bryson who hate trading card games to go tweet about it, play it. Why? Because there was a massive amount of hype that happened for like 2 weeks where everyone went and played it. So then even Bryson, who hates trading card games, went and played it, pretended to like it, like said, oh, this is great, I love it, and made tweets about it. Because maybe he did have fun, but he doesn't even like trading. You know what I mean? So like, if you really want people to show up, even people that might not like Web3 so much, or maybe people that aren't super into RPGs, but hey, they might like it. You've got to have events, spectacle, like you said, conferences. You have to do it. It's only otherwise. Think about this. They're sitting at home. They have 100 games to pick from and NFT projects. Who do they pick? The one that like looks like the most fun and interesting and has the most people playing, right? So that's just the simple answer.
So I'll leave everyone with this. We're going to timestamp it. If Doug Hype gets Dr. Disrespect to talk DFK, I'll send him cake. With that,
you'll send me cake.
I'll send you cake, Doug.
I need more cake, man. I eat it for every meal. All right. I'm hungry.
It, man. I sincerely look forward to hearing more, man. I couldn't be more proud of you. You know, this is pretty big, huge news, and I really appreciate you sharing this with not just me, the community at large. A lot of hard work, and we're looking forward to it. When you have final details, share those with me. Share those with the.
I will, and I'll have calls to action and stuff because that's the key. You can have the best game in the world, but if the community doesn't go out and do some stuff too, people won't see it. So we'll do some cool stuff, and that's why I wanted to tell you guys because you guys, everybody, every single person involved is super important to the success of the game. You know, when earlier when I made the joke of like I leave it to marketing, I will fucking murder you right now. Because that is the worst attitude ever. I will come to your house and suplex you into a cake and then parade you around town for everybody to see and then lick it off your face. Because that's the whole attitude that gets Web3 games not to get over the hump, right? So anyways, but it's all love and fun.
You know, with that said, you know, I think the message here is when one GameFi project wins, we in all likelihood all win. So with that said, Doug Hype, Dags, Koopa, Trade Room, Christian, thank you very much. I've realized I've been speaking behind a banner, a wall.
Yeah, you're actually behind the duck. Goose, the goose, honk. The honk, goose, honk, honk, honk.
Anyhow, catch y'all later.